Chapter 1125. 1125 everyone. Ouch, that stings, Captain. Captain, can you please stop talking? Hey, can you give us some hope to live? Why do we feel like we were called here to be punching bags? In the private room of the bar, everyone had fun and relaxed that night. The end of filming banquet eventually came to an end. People bid their farewells one after the other. Yi Wanwan, Gong Su, Luo Chun, Han Xinyu, and Yi Mufan all waited on the side of the road for their car to pick them up. Gong Su was completely drunk. The more he drank, the more annoying he became. It took both Luo Chun and Han Xinyu to carry Gong Su. Brother Yi, let's PK. Let's fight. Brothers who haven't fought aren't true brothers. Didn't you say you like to fight whenever you drink too much? A certain wolf dog had no idea he was walking to his grave. Yi Wanwan leaned against Yi Mufan's shoulders. Her inebriated eyes brightened a few degrees. You want to fight with me? Right. Come on. Come on. I'm super awesome now. Gong Su was extraordinarily proud. Gong Su was full of brute force after consuming alcohol, so he quickly shrugged off Luo Chun and Han Xinyu and sprang toward Yi Wanwan. Although Yi Wanwan couldn't walk straight due to her intoxication, she was unbelievably agile when Gong Su attacked. With a tiny shift, she dodged his attack. A blur dashed across Gong Su's eyes, and Gong Su discovered Yi Wanwan had disappeared. He instantly became flustered. Damn, doesn't count. I drank too much, so my eyes are blurry. Gong Su continued to deliver punches to Yi Wanwan. However, it was like Yi Wanwan could predict his next moves and dodge them every time. Several dozens of moves later, Gong Su hadn't managed to touch even a corner of Yi Wanwan's clothes. Instead, he ended up exhausted and gasping for air. Yi Mufan was planning on pulling Gong Su away, but when he saw that Gong Su was at a complete disadvantage, he decided to watch the show from the sidelines. Wanwan had practiced martial arts before and was quite good at it, so she shouldn't have any problems dodging Gong Su's attacks. On the other hand, surprise flickered through Luo Chen's face. Yi Bai looked too refined normally, like an aristocratic young master who led a pampered life. Luo Chen hadn't known Yi Bai was this skilled at martial arts. Although Gong Su was drunk, his fighting skills were enough to handle normal people after his training. However, he couldn't even land a single hit on Yi Bai. Gong Su was unwilling to accept this. He turned braver with each failure. I refuse to accept it. I'll beat you up. After fighting Gong Su for a while, Yi Wanwan looked bored and impatient. When she saw Gong Su attacking again, she pursed her lips. This time, she didn't dodge and swung her fist instead. In the next second, there was a resounding bang. Yi Wanwan's fist brushed past Gong Su and smashed onto the giant Land Rover off-road vehicle behind Gong Su like a clap of thunder. Her fair and dainty hand forcefully created a large crater on the hood of the off-road vehicle. Immediately after, a puff of dark smoke rose from the hood. Even the engine was damaged. Gong Su, Luo Chun, Han Xinyu, Yi Mufan, what the hell is this? When Gong Su heard the loud sound, he reflexively turned around and looked. Gong Su stared at the smoking hood with its large dent in a daze and instantly sobered up. After being dumbstruck for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, Gong Su screeched like a startled cat. He dashed behind Luo Chun and wrapped himself around Luo Chun. Mom, help! Chapter 1126. 1126 at the same time. In a car nearby, Si Yihan, Su Yi, 11, Feng Shuani, and the hidden bodyguards of the Si family all watched as Yi Wanwan smashed a large dent on the car. All the hidden bodyguards, please protect me, Buddha. A dead silence enveloped the area. As Luo Chun stared at the large crater on the car, he was also dumbstruck and forgot to push Gong Su away. He hadn't drunk that much alcohol tonight, so he clearly saw the large crater on the car. It absolutely wasn't an illusion. Was this a feat that could be accomplished by a human? Han Xinyu's expression was identical to Luo Chen's. Han Xinyu only knew that Yi Bai liked to flirt with people regardless of their gender when he was drunk. He didn't know Yi Bai could be so violent. Yi Mufan looked at the large dent, then at his unsteady sister before madly rubbing his eyes. Gong Su didn't dare to approach Yi Wanwan at all, and hid behind Luo Chun as best as he could. He begged, "Brother Yi, I was wrong. Brother Yi, I don't want to be beaten. I don't like to be on the other end of your fists at all. Don't misunderstand. Would he still be alive if Yi Bai's punch landed? Damn, what's going on?" Yi Mufan finally reacted and shot toward Yi Wanwan like a bolt of lightning. "Wan, Yi Bai, are you okay?" Han Xinyu also hurried over and quietly asked Yi Mufan, "Did she act like this after drinking before too?" Yi Mufan was stupefied. If she drinks too much, she'll go on a rampage. But it's never been this crazy. This was utterly insane. Did he have a fake sister? When Yi Wanwan saw Yi Mufan leaning close to talk to her, she narrowed her eyes, which were full of yearning. "What? You want to fight with me too?" Pure survival instinct pervaded Yi Mufan, and he quickly waved his hand in negation. No, I don't want to." Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi Mufan and felt that his face was quite pleasing to the eye, so she leaned toward Luo Chun. "Then, how about you?" Due to Yi Wanwan's sudden approach, Luo Chin's eyes clashed into her unbelievably beautiful eyes and felt all the air leaving his lungs. He didn't dare to breathe too hard, let alone speak. I. Yi Wanwan stared at the youth's handsome and helpless face and pulled back. She pursed her lips as she said, "Forget it. You're good-looking. I won't hit you." Luo Chin. When Gong Su heard that, he nearly fainted from crying too hard. "Brother Yi, I'm also very good-looking. Why were you so mean to me? My Land Rover, my little car." You hit the car, but it's my heart that hurts." Yi Wanwan ignored Gong Su and turned to the forgotten Fei Yang. She sized him up before deciding. You aren't good-looking." "Huh." Fei Yang was about to cry. You can't discriminate against me like this, all right? I'm just slightly worse looking." "Wait, no. I'm also very handsome, all right? It's just not apparent because of their looks." Fei Yang finally realized. Yi Bai was especially fond of good looks when he was drunk. Everyone present, including Yi Mufan, was all very handsome. He was simply a bit more average, but that didn't mean she could discriminate against him because of that and hit him, right? Fei Yang wanted to say that his HP took a critical hit. "Help! Save me!" Fei Yang's bladder was about to leak as he stared at the large hole on the car. Han Xinyu shot forward. "Yi Bai." When Yi Wanwan saw Han Xinyu, her eyes instantly brightened. The man was as gentle as jade and had a soft temperament. He made the people around him feel like a spring breeze was brushing over them. "Yi Wanwan, little big brother, do you want me to tell you your romantic fortune? My fortune-telling is super accurate." Han Xinyu. Chapter 1128. 1128 them? They all are? So many people? The second Yi Wanwan heard 11. A murderous aura pervaded every inch of her already chilly face. One of the team leaders was spooked out of his mind and shouted, "Shit! 11, aren't you too evil?" 11 saw that Yi Wanwan finally stopped attacking him and he bent over, out of breath as he leaned on his knees. He didn't care about his teammates' anguished accusations at all. He continued telling Yi Wanwan, "Really, it's them. I'm not lying to you. Brothers should suffer together, all right? Why should I be the only one getting beaten? Great. Then I'll do away with all of you." Yi Wanwan's voice sounded like it came from the pits of hell. In the next second, Yi Wanwan charged toward Feng Shuani and the other hidden guards, sending them scrambling over each other. As for their boss, Si Yihan, he acted as Feng Shuani predicted. He really watched uncaringly as they were beaten black and purple. The only thing written on Yi Wanwan's face was, "Kill one if there's one. Kill a pair if there's a pair." Her possessiveness was terrifying. Also, were they imagining things? Why did it feel like Miss Wanwan's killing power increased by a lot? Nearby, Gong Su and his group were all flabbergasted. If that punch to the car just now was a surprise, the present state was a complete fright. Gong Su was stupefied as he muttered, Did brother Yi drink fake alcohol?" Luo Chun. Yi Mufan's feeling that he had a fake sister intensified. Although he knew his sister was quite talented and a lot of coaches complimented her, He didn't expect her to be this terrifying. She fought solo against so many people that looked like skillfully trained bodyguards. A swish was heard in the air. Yi Wanwan did a round kick with the strength of 1,000 bulls, aiming for the slender youth who went to buy sobering tea earlier. The slender youth caught the hole in the Land Rover from his peripheral vision, and his face turned dark as mud. With that strength, if this kick landed, his head would explode. No, it's not. It's not me. The slender guard shouted in the nick of time. He pointed in a random direction. It's him. It's him. Yi Wanwan's icy eyes followed the direction of the slender guard's finger. Gong Su, who was suddenly being pointed at, was dumbfounded, and coldness enveloped him. Shit. If Gong Su knew Brother Yi would be so scary after drinking, he wouldn't have pressured Brother Yi to drink no matter what. Yi Wanwan's chilly gaze shot toward Gong Su again. Gong Su felt his hair standing on end from the stare. He was stunned for 3 seconds before he decisively hugged Luo Chun. No, it's not me. I have a wife already. He's my wife. Luo Chun thought the hug was incredibly distasteful and subconsciously wanted to push Gong Su away. Gong Su hugged Luo Chun like he was an oasis in the middle of the desert and refused to release him. If you dare to push me away, I'll say it's you. Luo Chun stopped moving. At the key moment, Gong Su's shamelessness saved his own life. Yi Wanwan continued to attack the other hidden bodyguards with increasingly frightening power. She didn't care whether they were the ones she was looking for. She would rather kill them wrongly than spare them. It's not me. It's really not me. That's right. It's not us. It's yourself, all right? You're having a couple's fight, so why are you dragging us into it? This was truly the embodiment of the saying, when the city burns, it's the fish in the moat that suffer. Yi Wanwan's voice was still androgynous, but it was returning to the soft and pure voice of a girl. Thankfully, she wasn't talking loudly and Gong Su and the others were hiding as far away as they could, so they didn't hear her. Si Yihan's eyes were like the starry sea. I've been yours from the start. Yi Wanwan's eyes widened. Really? Since when? Why didn't I know this? Si Yihan's lips twitched imperceptibly. You'll know when you're sober. Yi Wanwan wasn't too happy. Why do I have to wait until I'm sober? I think I'm fine just like this. Sui and the hidden bodyguards. It's not fine at all. This beating happened for no reason at all. What was most tragic was that their master didn't ask whether the victims were okay. Instead, he asked the attacker if her hand hurt. This was so cruel. They were so moved, though. Master finally came out to pacify her. This was the first time they ate dog food so willingly. This was life-saving dog food. Chapter 11:30 Si Yihan patted Yi Wanwan's head. Let's go home? Yi Wanwan's eyes sparkled. You're home? Si Yihan's dark eyes turned darker, and he repressed the impulse to kiss her. Our home. Yi Wanwan didn't want anything else. She nestled into the car on her own. Some distance away, Yi Mufan finally regained his wits when he saw Yi Wanwan entering the black car. Damn, bastard. Get back out here. How could you randomly enter someone's car? Yi Mufan quietly cursed and rushed forward. By the car door, Yi Wanwan tilted her head as she looked at him. Who are you? Yi Mufan was nearly angered to death. Shit, I'm your fucking brother. I don't know you. After Yi Wanwan said that, she turned around and entered the car. Cold gales of wind whistled through the air. Yi Mufan, damn girl. She actually said she didn't know me. She tossed her brother out of mind beyond the highest heavens just because she had a boyfriend now, didn't she? Si Yihan's eyes rested on Yi Mufan for a second before he reached out to protect the top of Yi Wanwan's head as she entered. Then he followed her into the car too. Soon, the black cars disappeared into the night. Only then did Gong Su and the others run out from their hiding places. Gong Su cautiously looked ahead of him. They left? Luo Qin instantly threw off Gong Su's arms. Yi Mufan angrily pulled Gong Su toward him. Bastard. What kind of drink did you give her? Gong Su was sullen and looked extremely innocent. Liquor. Just liquor. La fight. And whiskey as well? I drank it. And you all drank it too. Yi Mufan angrily tossed Gong Su away. Gong Su was trembling. Ah, what a painful realization. No wonder Brother Yi never drinks. I won't force Brother Yi to drink ever again. Wah! Next time? Yi Mufan angrily ordered. No one is allowed to let Yi Bai drink alcohol from now on. I'm adding this rule to our company's handbook. Fei Yang, who had hidden far away, nodded frantically and agreed. We can have that rule. We must have that rule. This was Yi Mufan's first time meeting Yi Wanwan's boyfriend. Thinking back on it, Yi Mufan was contemptuous when the little girl who always said her brother was the most handsome suddenly said to him that her boyfriend was 100 times more handsome than him. Now, damn it, he had no choice but to admit. It was just as that damn girl said. Her boyfriend was 100 times more handsome than him. No wonder. No wonder that damn girl suddenly didn't care about Gu Yueza anymore and didn't have any lingering feelings for that jerk. Wanwan previously said her boyfriend was an employee of the C Corporation, but from the looks of it, he brought bodyguards with him. Could he be some minor manager or director? He was so young. Yet he had already advanced to a position with bodyguards assigned to him in the C Corporation. Chapter 1131. After the bout of utter chaos, the group finally escorted their future mistress home. Everyone was extremely cautious and stayed far, far away from Si Yihan, afraid of bringing disaster upon themselves. After Sui got out of the car and opened the car door for his master, he instantly retreated 3 meters away and didn't dare to even glance at his master. If their ninth master ate vinegar by the tank, then Miss Wanwan ate vinegar by the ocean. Also, she tossed the blame anywhere and everywhere, so you never knew when it would land on your head. Too terrifying. Yi Wanwan was walking with Si Yihan's help. She was halfway to the main door when she suddenly looked back. Si Yihan asked, "What is it?" Yi Wanwan intently stared at the hidden bodyguards behind them and said pensively, "I'm still worried. I should just beat them to death." Si Yihan, the hidden bodyguards. How could you do that? What did we do wrong? Yi Wanwan pondered over it a little longer before waving her hand. Forget it. I won't beat them. The hidden guards were joyous. That's great. Did Miss Wanwan's conscience return? Just as the hidden guards thought that, they heard Yi Wanwan say, "It'll waste time. Every minute of the wedding night is worth 1,000 gold." The hidden bodyguards. They were going to die either way. They would either die from a beating or die from overeating dog food. With that, Yi Wanwan finally stopped wasting time on the people behind her and happily entered the house with Si Yihan. At this point in time, Yi Wanwan's wig was already ditched in the car and her jacket was pulled every which way. As soon as the door closed after them, she pressed Si Yihan against the wall and was about to pounce on him. However, she was stopped halfway there. He ordered, "No fooling around yet. Drink some sobering tea first. Otherwise, her head would feel like it went through a blender again when she woke up the next morning." She never learned from her mishaps. Before Si Yihan went to pick her up, he had people prepare some sobering tea, so it was currently sitting on the coffee table in the living room. Si Yihan walked over and touched the porcelain bowl. The temperature of the tea was perfect. "Drink it." Si Yihan handed the sobering tea to her. Yi Wanwan stared at the bowl in Si Yihan's hands in a daze. She was astonished. "You didn't take me home to sleep with me? You brought me here to drink tea?" When Si Yihan saw her bitter expression as though she'd been cheated, his face darkened. "Liar. I won't drink it." Yi Wanwan expressed her desire that she would rather die than submit when she discovered she had been deceived. "Drink it. Otherwise, your head will hurt tomorrow morning." "I won't. I didn't come here to drink tea. I knew it. You were lying to me. I should just go and beat them to death now." Yi Wanwan's hair was disheveled. She tossed her jacket away and prepared to go out to fight again. Si Yihan felt a headache dawning on him. He pulled her back and pressed her to sit down on the chair. He uttered between gritted teeth, "Drink first, then sleep." Yi Wanwan's head spun around. "Really?"
Yes.
Then Si Yihan raised the soup spoon to her lips. Yi Wanwan finally calmed down and obediently started drinking it. She didn't know how the sobering tea was prepared, but it was both sweet and sour and tasted very good. After she drank a spoonful, her eyes squinted like a content cat. Si Yihan fed her spoonful by spoonful, and Yuanwan glanced at Si Yihan after every spoonful. Toward the end, Yuanwan appeared to have grown impatient and snatched the bowl from Si Yihan. Then she gulped it down. After finishing the tea, Yuanwan handed the empty bowl to Si Yihan. I finished. Done now? Can we sleep now? Si Yihan. Chapter 1132. 1132. Si Yihan's eyes were like a cold pool of bottomless water as he looked at her and said, Come here. Yuanwan pounced like a tiny cannon as soon as she heard him. Si Yihan's body leaned back a little from the impact, and two of the buttons on his dress shirt loosened. When Si Yihan met her glittering eyes, he gently looped a hand around her waist. His tone was uncommonly gentle. Let's talk. Yuanwan's brows furrowed. You said we'd sleep after I drank it. Yes, I said that, but let me ask you a question first. There was a bewitching quality to Si Yihan's voice. This trick was obviously very effective. Yuanwan obediently nodded. Okay. Si Yihan watched her face as he quietly asked, Do you like me? Or do you like my face? Your face, Yuanwan answered without hesitation. Si Yihan's eyes narrowed imperceptibly. A second later, he buttoned his shirt as though everything was normal. Sleep by yourself. The second Yuanwan heard Si Yihan's words, she felt like thunder clapped across a clear sky and was dumbstruck. Why? Si Yihan walked upstairs. Even his back showed his anger. Yuanwan was stunned for a moment before chasing after Si Yihan. When she realized she couldn't catch up due to the speed of his long legs, she pushed off the stair railing and leaped forward, landing in front of Si Yihan and blocking his path. Yuanwan asked, Why? Figure it out yourself. Si Yihan's face was frosty. Then he coldly entered the bathroom without another word. Bang! The door slammed on Yuanwan. Grievance bubbled up inside, and she angrily jumped onto the bed and hugged the comforter. So what if I like that he's good-looking? Why's he angry? Why did he shut me outside? Why did he abduct me home but won't sleep with me? Yuanwan was furiously scratching the comforter when she suddenly felt something soft squirming underneath her. Yuanwan bolted up from fright. A second later, a soft and fair child burrowed out of the comforter. The little fellow was sleepily rubbing his eyes. When he saw Yuanwan, he dazedly sat there and blinked from still being half asleep. When he saw who it was, all his sleepiness dissipated. Brilliant joy sparkled in his eyes, and he instantly crawled up and sprang into Yuanwan's arms. Mommy! Yuanwan was utterly dumbstruck when she saw the little child who burrowed out of the comforter without any warning, unexpectedly leaped into her arms and called her Mommy. Si Yihan was calming himself down inside the bathroom when he suddenly heard her miserable scream from outside. Ah! Si Yihan opened the door and shot out of the bathroom. What happened? Si Yihan had a fierce expression on his face. Then he saw that Yuanwan was staring at the child in her arms with a pale and panic-stricken expression. What is this thing? Si Yihan. Si Yihan exhaled in relief while also rubbing his forehead with exasperation. A moment later, he answered, Your son. Yuanwan was even more dumbfounded. She looked at the child, then at Si Yihan. Who birthed him? Si Yihan's face turned a few shades darker. You. Si Yihan thought, How could it be me who birthed the child? Yuanwan shouted, Impossible. How could we have a son before we've even slept together? Chapter 1133. Yuanwan said, That's illogical. Si Yihan's face turned darker. It was wondrous that she still knew that was illogical despite how drunk she was. You're lying to me again. I've never birthed a child. Yuanwan was firm in her disbelief. Baby Tang Tang, who had just woken up, felt like thunder was clapping across a clear sky. Mommy said she never birthed me. Tong Tong's face turned ghastly white and tearful. Mommy, you don't want Tang Tang anymore? The child was delicate and soft like a glutinous rice ball, and he was wearing fuzzy cartoon pajamas. His cheeks were tender and soft, eliciting an urge for Yuanwan to pinch and kiss them. Yi Wanwan inexplicably felt an urge in her hands and almost couldn't stop herself from hugging and kneading the child. Yi Wanwan had a stern and resolute expression as she stared at the tiny child and said, "But I didn't birth you." Tang Tang jumped into Yi Wanwan's arms and looked up with an anguished expression. "Mommy. Mommy gave birth to Tang Tang. Tang Tang is Mommy's baby." Mommy said that, and so, the tiny dango clung to her arms like that, warmly and softly. Yi Wanwan said, "I think birthing a child without sleeping together is actually quite normal, Si Yihan." Mommy, Yi Wanwan couldn't hold back any longer. She kneaded the tiny child in her arms, then sought verification from Si Yihan with sparkling, starry eyes. "Ah, so cute, so cute, so cute. Did I really give birth to him? Am I really that awesome? Really? Really?" Yi Wanwan and Tang Tang both looked at Si Yihan simultaneously with glittering eyes. Si Yihan answered, "Really?" Yi Wanwan was instantly extremely excited. So happy. I really like him." When Tang Tang heard that Mommy liked him, his cheeks finally flushed again. However, Tang Tang continued to look at Mommy with concern and seriously said, "Mommy, don't drink from now on, okay?" After Mommy drank alcohol, she didn't recognize me anymore. Yi Wanwan nodded without a thought. Sure. You're cute, so I'll go along with anything you say." Only then did Tang Tang relax. Yi Wanwan then focused all her attention on the tiny child and completely tossed the child's dad to the back of her mind. After messing around for some time, mother and child finally fell asleep. Si Yihan wiped Yi Wanwan's face with a wet cloth and changed her clothes for her. Then he laid on the other side of Tang Tang and sulked by himself. After laying for a while, he silently sighed and realized how childish he could be. Actually, I shouldn't be angry. I should be glad instead. Glad that she likes something about me, my face. Late at night, Si Yihan hadn't rested for too long when he felt something poking his shoulder. Si Yihan opened his eyes with a light frown. Then he met a pair of glittering, pitch-black eyes and was startled. Si Yihan rubbed his forehead with exasperation. "Why aren't you sleeping?" Yi Wanwan's eyes were full of excitement as she looked at the child in between them. Agio, I remember now. This tiny child. I really gave birth to him." Si Yihan sighed and tucked the sheets for her. "Yes, you gave birth to him." Yi Wanwan's voice sounded nervous as she hesitantly asked, "Agio, are you angry?" Si Yihan retorted, "Why would I be angry? I secretly birthed him. Aren't you angry?" Si Yihan's expression was speechless. Is she extremely drunk, or is she dreaming? When he heard her calling him Agio, he thought she had gotten a little less intoxicated. Si Yihan went along with her. "I'm not angry. Hurry and sleep." Yi Wanwan showed a relieved expression and finally felt at ease. She turned around and fell sound asleep. Chapter 1134. 1134. The next morning, Yi Wanwan was woken up by a nightmare. Yi Wanwan fiercely sat up with cold sweat dripping everywhere. She had a super frightening nightmare. It was too frightening. Where's Si Yihan? Tang Tang also isn't here. Si Yihan and Tang Tang probably woke up already, so they were gone. Yi Wanwan rolled off the bed with a panicked expression and didn't have time to put on her slippers before charging downstairs. Because she ran too hastily, she misstepped on the final step and fell forward. When she was about to land on the hard floor, the expected pain didn't arrive. Instead, she landed in a pair of cold arms. Si Yihan's files scattered all over the floor from his hands, and there was rage all over his face. "Walk properly. Why were you running?" When he saw her bare feet, his face grew more displeased. "Where are your slippers?" Yi Wanwan's neck cowered from the scolding. She had a pitiful expression. "I had a nightmare." When Sui, who was reporting business matters to Si Yihan, saw this, he quickly picked up a pair of slippers from the shoe rack to hand to them. After Sui placed them down, he immediately hid far away with a swish and tried his best to lower his presence. Sober and drunk Miss Wanwan are two completely different people. When she's inebriated, she can run across roofs and leap over walls. When she's sober, She can even trip down the stairs. After Si Yihan helped her up and helped her put on the slippers, his expression eased a few degrees. The things you see in your dreams are fake. Yuanwan pouted and looked at Si Yihan as though he was a heartless jerk. She was full of accusations as she said, "Don't lie to me. It was so real. Really, really. I dreamed you married a wife. You married many, many wives, a whole harem of wives. I wanted to hit them, but your heart ached for them, and you were mean to me. Seriously, horses can run on grass fields above my head. Ah, so infuriating." Si Yihan, Su-yi, who was hiding in the corner. What? What did I just hear? Si Yihan felt a raging headache as he pinched his brows. What kind of nonsense do you think about all day? Yi Wanwan plastered herself against Si Yihan's chest. Is it really fake? Why did it feel so real then? I even dreamed they chased me around and beat me up. When I woke up, I felt like I was aching all over. Su-yi's eyes widened, grief and indignation leaking out of them. Miss Wanwan, you can't be like that. How could you turn the truth inside out in your sleep? It was clearly you who chased everyone around and beat us up, okay? You're aching all over because you used too much strength when you were hitting us, all right? In his exasperation, Si Yihan had no choice but to pacify her. It's fake. Yi Wanwan's expression had just eased up when she remembered something else. Her head drooped down again. Whoa. What was most hurtful was that I also dreamed. I dreamed that Tang Ting didn't want me anymore. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Si Yihan rubbed his forehead, at a complete loss for words. This was her so-called nightmare? This was what Tang Tang heard the moment he entered with Great White behind him. The little fella dazedly stood there and finally reacted a moment later. He quickly pattered over to them. Mommy. Tang Tang didn't not want Mommy. Yi Wanwan perked up. Really? But Mommy dreamed Tang Tang didn't want me anymore. Tang Tang wouldn't abandon Mommy and forget Mommy, right? Baby Tang Tang was very conflicted. It was clearly Mommy who forgot about him when she was drunk. However, the little fella nodded with conviction. Really? Mommy will always be Tang Tang's Mommy. Tang Tang absolutely won't forget about Mommy. Sorry, Mommy. Tang Tang made Mommy feel sad in her dream. Su-yi from his corner. All right, I finally understand what kind of spoiling created Miss Wanwan's unreasonable personality. Having grass grow on one's head means their partner is cheating on them. Chapter 1135. 1135 A life and death struggle officially finished shooting, which meant Yi Wanwan was about to drown in things to do. The busiest period, the promotion of the film, was waiting for them. For the next little while, she would have to take Luoqin and Gongsu on assignments and fly to every city in order to properly promote their film. Thankfully, Zhang Yinran had MT Tai, Director Pong, supporting her, so Yi Wanwan didn't need to worry. Otherwise, Yi Wanwan wouldn't have enough hands to handle the workload no matter how many hands she grew. I'm going to work. Yi Wanwan swiftly finished eating her breakfast and said goodbye to Tang Tang and Si Yihan. Tang Tang docilely sent Mommy off before taking Great White out on a stroll. Inside the study, Si Yihan was darkly looking at the pile of information Su-yi had just handed to him. The person behind Si Mingli was hidden deeper than he expected. After a moment of hesitation, Su-yi probed, Ninth Master, could it possibly be from eldest young master's side? Si Yihan answered, it isn't him. Judging from Si Yihan's tone, it appeared he never suspected eldest young master and Si Xia. Sui actually never understood this. Theoretically, Si Bai, Si Yihan's eldest half-brother from the same father but different mother, should be the biggest suspect, and there were a lot of covert abnormal actions from that side. Although Si Bai always looked timid and useless, his son, Si Xia, was quite capable. However, Si Yihan had never suspected Si Xia and always took good care of him instead. Si Xia originally treated his ninth uncle, Si Yihan, with great animosity and frequently stirred up trouble. However, in the past 6 months, Si Xia had been a lot more complacent and rarely showed up in front of Si Yihan for some unknown reason. Maybe it was because the sobering soup Yi Wanwan drank last night was effective, but Yi Wanwan was quite alert when she woke up. She didn't have a headache and wasn't nauseous. After she changed, she immediately headed to the company for a meeting. She needed to confirm the following promotion schedule with everyone as soon as possible. She ran into some traffic on the way to the company, so she arrived a little late. Almost everyone else was gathered inside the conference room already. As Yi Wanwan looked at the time on her phone, she hastily opened the door and entered the room. "I'm sorry, I'm late." The second Yi Wanwan entered, a bang was heard and Gong Su fell off his chair near the door. Gong Su looked at her, scared stiff. Then, as though he saw a ghost, he grabbed the leg of the chair and used it to block himself from Yi Wanwan's sight. Gong Su wasn't the only one. When Fei Yang, Luo Chen, and the other people saw her, they all seemed to scoot back a little. Even Yi Mufan, who was standing on the podium, retreated to the window with a frightened expression. Yi Wanwan was dumbfounded. "What's everyone doing? Did you see a ghost?" Everyone inside the conference room. "We'd rather see a ghost." Yi Wanwan walked toward Gong Su and reached out, intending to help Gong Su up. "Why did you fall down all of a sudden?" Don't come over here," Gong Su mournfully yelled before Yi Wanwan could touch him. Yi Wanwan was speechless as she looked at how Gong Su was acting like a timid, bullied wife. "What's up with you?" Gong Su scrambled behind Luo Chen's chair and cautiously peeked out. "Brother Yi, are you sober?" Yi Wanwan's brows furrowed. "I'm sober. I slept through the night, so of course I'm sober." Gong Su asked, "Are you sure?" Everyone had lingering fears as they looked at her. Yi Wanwan was perplexed. "All of you, what's going on?" Gong Su didn't dare to say anything. Everyone else looked at each other with conflicted expressions. Yi Wanwan had no choice but to look at Luo Chen. "Luo Chen, come over here. Explain." Chapter 1136. Gong Su was joyful. Go quickly. Brother Yi is calling on you." This was the first time Gong Su was jumping for joy about Brother Yi calling on Luo Chen instead of himself. Luo Chen hesitated for a moment before he stood up. "Brother Yi, it's really nothing." Yi Wanwan raised her eyebrows. "If it's nothing, why are you all looking at me like you've seen a ghost?" Gong Su quietly muttered, No. Brother Yi, you aren't a ghost. You're Zhongkue. You can even catch ghosts." Yi Wanwan was rendered speechless. Luo Chen faltered, not daring to say anything. In the end, it was Han Xinyu who spoke. "Yi Bai, don't you remember anything from last night?" Yi Wanwan scratched her head. "What about last night? I don't really remember it. My memory blacks out after I drink," Han Xinyu said with an exasperated expression. "Ahem, after you drink, you're a little." "A little what?" Han Xinyu pondered over his wording. "A little impulsive." It was Gong Su who couldn't bear it anymore and shouted, "Shit! How is that impulsive? That's just utterly violent, bloody, and cruel. Brother Yi, do you know what you did to me last night?" Yi Wanwan pulled a chair back and sat down. She propped her chin up with her hand. "What could I possibly have done to you? I haven't reached the point of being starving and unselective yet, right?" Gong Su was triggered instantly. "Brother Yi, you're too awful. What about me? I'm so handsome. How am I unselective?" "How? You clearly said I was good-looking last night. Why did you do a complete 180 now?" Yi Wanwan felt a headache coming on inside. "Can I get someone who can talk normally instead?" Fei Yang's timid voice came from the corner. "Director Yi, after you became drunk last night, you came downstairs with us. Gong Su also drank a bit much and insisted on comparing notes with you. And then, I hit Gong Su?" "Well, you didn't hit Gong Su, but you did punch a giant hole into Gong Su's off-road vehicle." Yi Wanwan blinked. Then she asked in disbelief, "I made a hole in an off-road vehicle? With my fist? Brother Yang, are you kidding me?" Fei Yang replied, "It's true." Yi Wanwan turned to Han Xinyu, and Han Xinyu lightly coughed before also nodding. "You made the hole. If you don't believe it, look at the photos yourself. I towed my car to the shop to repair it this morning. The clerk asked me the cause of the damage. I said someone punched it, and they asked me if I was dreaming." Gong Su quickly pulled up a photo on his phone to show Yi Wanwan. There was indeed a fist-sized hole on the car's hood. Yi Wanwan said, I also think you're dreaming, Yi Mufan muttered. You punched it. Everyone here witnessed it with our own eyes last night. Why didn't I know you could get so strong when you're drunk? Also, that what's his face of yours, oh, Aju, also came last night and brought several bodyguards. You went into a drunken craze and beat up those bodyguards too. Then you left with that wild man. When I went over to pull you back, you actually asked me who I was. Damn it. Yi Mufan's point of focus was definitely his last sentence. When Yi Wanwan finished listening to everyone's accusations, she adopted the tone of a science show host and explained, I think this must be a collective illness on your part and you had delusions. Not only did I wreck a car barehanded, but also had a group fight? Impossible. I never fight. Okay? Gong Su interjected, Brother Yi, I think you might have a little misunderstanding about yourself despite how long you've been alive. Zhong Kue is a mythological figure who's supposed to drive away evil spirits. Chapter 1137. 1137 Yi Wanwan looked at the convicted expressions of everyone in the conference room and grew hesitant. HM? I really punched a car barehanded? Everyone nodded in unison. I also had a group brawl with my friend's bodyguards? Gong Su fiercely shook his head. No, no, no. You didn't. Yi Wanwan sighed in relief. I knew it was impossible. Gong Su then said, You didn't have a group brawl because you one-sidedly wrecked them. Yi Wanwan. Finally, under everyone's identical accounts of what happened, Yi Wanwan had no choice but to believe it was true. Yi Mufan solemnly said, Hence, the first business of our meeting today is to prohibit Yi Bai from drinking alcohol into the employee handbook. Yi Wanwan helplessly mumbled, Must you be that dramatic? After Yi Mufan said that, he subconsciously glanced at Yi Wanwan's hand. Is your hand really fine? Yi Wanwan raised both of her hands in show. They're fine. They're perfectly fine. Gong Su's eyes were glowing as he stared at Yi Wanwan's hands. He touched them with excitement. Brother Yi, you're too awesome. Do you know internal exercises? I should have learned from you instead. Why did I have to go to some special training camp? Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at him. Shoo, you can only learn to fight from me. What use is that? Ah, learning to fight is good too. Yi Mufan slapped away Gong Su's inappropriate hands and leaned closer to thoroughly examine Yi Wanwan's hands. When he ascertained that they were really fine after half a day, he finally relaxed but was still immensely suspicious. Yi Mufan recalled the things he learned before and said, Fighting and martial arts are separated into external and internal exercises. The fact that you were able to damage that car to this extent without a hint of damage to your body means you must have used your inner strength. Inner strength relies on breathing exercises and is an arduous journey that can't be accomplished in a day. Aren't you a bit over the top? In order to make Wanwan learn some self-defense, Father hired renowned coaches and masters. However, she lacked perseverance and continuity, so how could she have trained to this extent? Yi Wanwan muttered, Although it might seem like it defies the natural order, it's not that rare to have a combination of talent and strength, alright? I've worked hard in my training during this past half year, alright? Anyway, I'm nothing and far from the best. True experts don't rely on some external strength or internal strength. They use integrative strength. Men were typically interested in these kinds of things. When Gong Su heard that, he immediately inquired curiously, Brother Yi, what's integrative strength? Yi Wanwan thought about it. Basically speaking, it's the highest level of internal strength. True experts can utilize their bodies and strength together with perfection. This was actually from an earlier conversation between her and Mr. Mu. As Yi Wanwan explained, she couldn't help but recall the Independent State, that legendary place where experts ran rampant. Unfortunately, she would probably never have the chance to visit that place in her life. The group went on a tangent for a while before returning to business. They decided on the upcoming promotion schedule. After the meeting ended, Yi Wanwan took Gong Su and Luo Chun, as well as Yao Jiawen, on their assignments without any time to waste. Their upcoming schedule was packed tightly. They had 3 assignments in total today. The first assignment was a show on Imperial City Satellite TV. Luo Chen and Gong Su were both participating as guests. Chapter 1138. 1138. The group quickly arrived at the show's shooting location. The backstage was bustling with people. Busy staff members dashed everywhere. At that moment, a group of people arrived at the entrance with pomp and circumstance. The newcomer was Ling Xiaojia. There were 2 bodyguards, 3 assistants, 1 makeup artist, and 1 stylist behind him. Emperor Sky Entertainment's Ling Xiaojia was the guest on the show this time. Ling Xiaojia's new movie came out recently. It was a big production with a major cast from Emperor Sky Entertainment. Supposedly, public opinion and box office success of the premiere was decent, and Ling Xiaojia's performance in the film was remarkable. His popularity was also quite high among young actors. Plus, he had the Grand Tree, Emperor Sky Entertainment, standing behind him, so his previous dark history from slandering Gong Su was nearly made pure again. In addition to that, many fans thought that the good-for-nothing Gong Su, who was like a malignant tumor in the entertainment industry, deserved it. When enemies inevitably clashed, the expressions of each party could be imagined. Ling Xiaojia could be considered to have turned over a new leaf with the help of this film, so he was currently riding on his success. He took the initiative to greet Gong Su. Young Master Gong, long time no see. Yuanwan was personally accompanying them today, so Gong Su was in quite a good mood and didn't bother paying Ling Xiaojia any heed. Ling Xiaojia naturally wouldn't spare this opportunity to put Gong Su down, so he continued, I heard your new film is about to premiere too? You even participated in the Golden Orchid Awards? I truly anticipate the results of the Golden Orchid ceremony. As soon as Ling Xiaojia finished speaking, another celebrity quickly snickered. Yes, I do quite look forward to it. I heard Gong Su made a dauntless promise that he would live stream himself eating shit if he doesn't get Golden Orchid Awards Best Actor. PFT, does he think his family is the organizer of the Golden Orchid Awards, and he can get Best Actor merely by wishing it? Golden Orchid Awards is the most prestigious film award in the country. Gong Su was irritated by the chatter buzzing around his ears, so he snorted and looked at Ling Xiaojia. PFT, you merely got 30 million at the premiere's box office, yet you dare to stroll around like a peacock in front of this young master? When this young master breaks into the billions, you won't have climbed onto your sugar mama's bed yet. Gong Su's mouth was quite malicious. Ling Xiaojia's expression shifted. Gong Su, stop slandering people. Gong Su raised his brows. What about me? What part was I wrong about? What's there for you to be boastful about? Your shitty acting skills are simply conning people of their money. When people finish watching your work, they'll nearly tear the theater apart. It's just that I can't use it unless I'm married. I have no idea what my mom was thinking when she stipulated that I had to be married before I could use it. As Gong Su said that, he showed an incredibly grievous expression. Yi Wanwan's lips twitched. Why are you making it sound like getting married is equal to killing you? Gong Su instantly replied, Isn't getting married exactly the same as entering my grave? Unless I'm entering it with my little candied plum, then I'm willing to enter even hell. Yi Wanwan, extinguish your dreams already. Anyway, I won't get my makeup done outside even if you kill me. I can't. I'm still so angry. I must drag that hoe dude out here. It was them who fucking begged me to be a guest on their show, but they have the guts to show me up now. Gong Su was about to explode again. Yao Jiawen's pacification was useless and intensified his anger instead. Yi Wanwan glared at him and said, Enough, enough. I won't let you get your makeup done outside. Both you and Luo-chan don't need to go and get your makeup done. You're fine as you are. You're already very handsome right now and can go on the show like this. As soon as Gong Su heard that, his rampaging fury was snuffed out without a lick of flame remaining and transformed into fireworks that went off above his head. Really? Really? I'm already really handsome right now? Gong Su automatically omitted Luo Chun from Yi Wanwan's words. Chapter 1140. 1140 Yi Wanwan sweet-talked him. Yes, yes, yes. Handsome already. Let's go wait in the lounge. Gong Su, who had just exploded and wanted to fight with someone, instantly turned cheerful and docilely followed Yi Wanwan to the lounge. Yao Jiawen watched with surprise on the side. Was Gong Su easy to pacify or hard to pacify? She was fruitless after half a day of persuasion, but a single sentence from Yi Bai got Gong Su to comply. The crew shot Ling Xiao's portion first, so Gong Su and Luo Chun had to wait a whole 2 hours before it was their turn. But then, they finished shooting in barely 10 minutes when it was their turn. Yao Jiawen repressed her fury and said to Director Ho, Director Ho, we're done recording already? Isn't there something wrong? Director Ho was currently busy ingratiating himself with Ling Xiaozhe. Upon hearing this, he impatiently turned around to look at Yao Jiawen. Wrong? What's wrong? Too much of the original script got deleted. This isn't what we initially agreed on. And the blocking isn't right either. Gong Su and Luo Chen's positions are too far back when they come out. The plans can't keep up with our changes. This is pretty typical. As for the blocking, it's naturally according to their ranking and popularity. So I place Xiaozhe in front. I'm sure no one has any objections about that, right? What's the problem then? Yao Jiawen wanted to contest further but was pulled back by Yi Wanwan. Let's go. We need to get to the next assignment. There was no point in wasting time here. They were only finished recording the show because of their principle of respectfully completing the job as per the contract. Yao Jiawen's mood was still low. After these 10 minutes of camera time is edited, it'd be decent if we even ended up with 5 minutes. That's too little. A cold smile turned up on Yi Wanwan's lips. 5 minutes? That'd be overestimating Yi Yi's kindness. Yi Wanwan had already predicted these hurdles. Their time was very valuable right now, so they didn't have time to waste on arguing about these minor matters. The more assignments they could take, the better. These assignments would help the box office as best as they could, but they weren't the most important thing. Her goal this time had never been the box office. Otherwise, she could have done what Emperor Sky did in her previous life and directly revamped the script. Her goal was the Golden Orchid Awards. Time passed by in the blink of an eye, and it was soon the premiere date of a life and death struggle. A thing to celebrate was that all the people who saw this film gave it a positive rating on the internet. Gong Su's performance in the film was undoubtedly the most shocking factor for fans. OMG, what did I see? Is this still my baby Su? He was so handsome that I couldn't even recognize him as his mom fan. I originally went to watch it to see Luo Chen and Gong Su being gay for each other, but I surprisingly started crying while watching it. It's too moving. Gong Su's acting skills are off the charts this time. Did he take the wrong medicine? Luo Chen was too excellent. He's improved a lot. Gong Su. I also wonder whether he suffered some kind of a shock. His acting skills are illogical. Gong Su sighed as he looked at the 0-star ratings on the internet. Tisk, when I didn't care and carelessly acted back then, they all scrambled to spend their money on watching my stuff. Now that I'm seriously acting with all I've got, not a lot of people are going to see it. Ah, this must be the nature of the entertainment industry. Yi Wanwan glanced at Gong Su from the corners of her eyes. It was a rare occasion that this guy expressed so much depth. While she was thinking this, she suddenly saw Gong Su slapping his phone. What the heck do they mean by take the wrong medicine? What the heck does illogical mean? Who said I can't have acting skills? Why can't they hope for the best for me? They must be looking forward to me eating shit instead. Are they really true fans? Chapter 1141. 1141 Lately, big productions had been showing in theaters. The films from Worldwide Entertainment and Emperor Sky Entertainment alone dominated 70 to 80% of the market, and there was a hustle of promotional activities, not to mention how they were intentionally suppressing Age of the Immortals. Although all viewers gave the film positive ratings and reviews, everyone felt their hearts chilling when the results of the film's box office debut came out. The box office only got to the several hundred thousands without touching the tip of Ling Xiaozhe's film. Moreover, it was Gong Su and Luo Chen's loyal fans who contributed to the several hundred thousands. If this pattern continued, they would lose their life savings. Due to their mediocre box office performance, the company was in low spirits. Luo Chen said, "Date with a Superstar is broadcasting today. Maybe it will help the box office a little." For celebrities in the entertainment industry, fans were the most valuable but were also the easiest to lose. In order to shoot a life and death struggle, Luo Chen and Gong Su hadn't made public appearances for several months. Fresh meat also came out like chives, one after another, so fans were disappearing at a high rate. And now, the promotional period for the film was encountering obstruction after obstruction, and the box office results were quite worrisome. At the moment, Yao Jiawen hastily entered with her phone in hand. She angrily shouted, "This is too much." "What is it?" Yuan asked with a frown. Yao Jiawen held up her phone and said, "I was watching Date with a Superstar just now and discovered that all of Luo Chen and Gong Su's screen time in Date with a Superstar was cut out. There wasn't even a single second left. They waited for 2+ hours and shot for 10 minutes. They originally thought they would get at least 5 minutes, but ended up being completely cut out." When Luo Chen heard Yao Jiawen's words, his face darkened. He originally hoped this popular show could promote their film, but it was a no-go. Similar things had been happening frequently lately. They managed to obtain some good assignments with great difficulty, but their screen time on them was all squeezed into nothing. There was obviously someone purposefully suppressing them behind the scenes. The smell of wine was still afraid of the depth of the alley. No matter how high quality the film was, it would be useless if nobody went to watch it. Moreover, their film topic didn't have an edge against the pile of teen dramas and metropolitan romance films to begin with. Yao Jiawen had a suggestion. "How about we have Luo Chen and Gong Su interact more on Weibo and attract some popularity?" Yuan shook her head and rejected Yao Jiawen's suggestion. These interactions were fine if they were natural and suitable, but if they were too frequent and intentional, they wouldn't escape malicious suspicions of playing gay. Instead, they would negatively impact their popularity with netizens unfamiliar with them. Moreover, this didn't solve the problem at its roots. I already told you about the current situation back at our first meeting, so you should have mentally prepared for it. My current plan is to stop our future promotions. Worldwide and Emperor Sky are clearly making life difficult for us, so any further investments will be no use. Why don't we use that money to do other things instead? Other things? Yao Jiawen didn't understand. Yuan handed a stack of documents to her. That's right. We won't do promotions anymore. The remaining budget will all be used for charity. Han Xinyu nodded and said, "That's a good idea." Yuan said, "Brother Yang has more experience with this, so I'll have to trouble Brother Yang to help me out." Fei Yang quickly said, "Not a problem." Yuan's gaze swept over everyone. For this segment, there's only one thing that everyone needs to do. Be steady. Then Yuan purposefully looked at Gong Su. Gong Su especially, don't go crazy. Chapter 1142, the time we have now isn't bad for you. You can allow yourself to settle. Do more charity, read more books, learn more things, enrich yourself. Do you hear me? Yuan said with concern. Gong Su dispiritedly slapped the table and said as though he was on his last breath, "Go crazy. I have no energy. I can't see Brother Yi in female clothes. What meaning is there to my life?" Yuan. Can't his life be less boring? Can't he do something more meaningful? When Han Xinyu heard that, he shook his head and chuckled out loud. However, his face looked a little relieved. "There's also my little candied plum." "Ah, my little candied plum. Why is our love so perilous?" Gong Su peered resentfully at Yuan. "Brother Yi, I don't like you anymore. Do you know what you look like right now?" Yuan asked. "What? A wooden club? A wooden club that's breaking apart an affectionate couple." Yuan. "If you wore a dress for me, I'd reluctantly forgive you." "No need to be so reluctant. Thanks." Yao Jiawen pondered over it and realized this was all they could do. If a little company didn't have any background and was intentionally bullied by a large company, nearly every step forward would be strenuous. Yao Jiawen said, "Now, all that we can hope is for a life and death struggle to make it to the finals of the Golden Orchid Awards. We have 2 male leads, So either one who qualifies will contribute to our reputation at least. Otherwise, not only would they lose money, but they also wouldn't gain any reputation. Although they knew in their hearts that a life and death struggles topic was advantageous for obtaining an award, it wouldn't be good if they didn't win the award even if they made it to the finals. Yao Jiawen actually didn't really understand Yi Bai's thought process. With Gong Su and Luo Chen's popularity, if they changed the film into a school drama and went the idol drama route, their box office performance wouldn't be so awful even with a large company suppressing them. At least they wouldn't lose money. Although Yi Bai was truly capable, he was too new to the industry, so he was too idealistic sometimes. Perhaps Yi Bai really did do this for Luo Chen and Gong Su's benefit to help them transform their image and didn't want them to excessively exhaust their popularity, limiting themselves to earning money quickly. However, Yi Bai underestimated the cruelty of the market and the ability of big companies. Although Yi Bai managed to obtain Su Lin's script, he offended Emperor Sky, so the gains hadn't made up for the losses. Currently, the company's funding chain was very tight and completely relied on this film to recover. If this film crashed and burned, it'd be questionable whether the company could continue to operate. Jiawen, arrange the upcoming schedule, Yi Wanwan instructed. Yao Jiawen returned to the present and quickly nodded. Okay. In the following period, films from big companies were all being promoted and shown in theaters like wildfire. Meanwhile, Yi Wanwan took Luo Chen and Gong Su to silently do charity work, going to mountainous regions to visit the children or to military bases to express their appreciation for the veterans. They completely transformed their original promotion schedule to perform charity and public welfare activities. When Yi Wanwan learned that the Golden Orchid Awards nominated both Luo Chen and Gong Su for Best Actor, she was with Gong Su and Luo Chen and was chatting with a few veterans on some mountain. As Gong Su stared at his phone, his downcast face finally emitted an array of brilliant, eye-catching colors. Ahahaha, Brother Yi, I was nominated for the Golden Orchid Awards Best Actor. Yi Wanwan looked at the list of nominations sent by Yi Mufan. Calm down. It's just a nomination. Chapter 1143. 1143. Although it was hard to say whether they would win the Golden Orchid Awards, Yi Wanwan was fairly confident about getting a nomination. She watched over the entire production of this film, so she had absolute confidence in its quality. What the committee of judges would evaluate was the quality of the script and film, not box office performance. The outcome at the box office didn't impact the committee's judgment at all. Luo Chen also rejoiced in this news. This was the best news they had heard in a while. It was only a nomination, but it was an explicit acknowledgement of their acting skills. Gong Su gloatingly struck a pose with his hands on his hips. Haha, so what if it's a nomination? A little rounding off, and it's the same as me winning Best Actor. So, Brother Yi, look, how about you do some rounding off in crow's dress? Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at him. A little rounding off and he'll get Best Actor? What delusional thinking. They might have been nominated, but this was drastically different from actually getting Best Actor, alright? If they didn't get it, they would merely take a stroll on the red carpet and accompany the actual winner. They would also help the Golden Orchid Awards get a double Best Actor nomination tagline. This nomination was especially problematic for Gong Su. If he didn't end up winning, he would be ridiculed by the entire internet. After their joy passed, Luo Chen said, I dug through the records. There are a total of 5 times when both male leads from the same film were nominated at the same time in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards. However, there wasn't a single time when both male leads got Best Actor. There were 4 times when they just participated, and 1 time when one of the male leads won. The Best Actress award also has a similar history. In other words, double Best Actor or double Best Actress hadn't occurred in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards. After all, the Golden Orchid Awards' prestigiousness was so high. How could they easily award 2 Best Actors or 2 Best Actresses at once? Although there were a lot of nominations, most of them were only there for the race. Moreover, the other films entering the final round with them couldn't be underestimated. The lineup of companies, directors, producers, and artists was incredibly strong. Only Gong Su and Luo Chen went against the grain in the mix. At this point in time, The nomination list for the Golden Orchid Awards was also posted on the internet. Yi Wanwan casually skimmed through the comments. As expected, Luo Chun and Gong Su's co-nomination elicited quite a storm of discussion and was part of a few trending topics. Most of them were complaints, though, and Gong Su was insulted especially harshly. Fuck me. What did I just see? Forget about Luo Chun's nomination. Even Gong Su was nominated as Best Actor? Gong Su was nominated for Best Actor? This year's Golden Orchid Awards is probably his medicine. Damn, there must be some shady dealings involved. What the hell is the evaluation committee for this year's Golden Orchid Awards doing? Insults and curses enveloped the internet. Everyone was calling for the evaluation committee to reassess the nominees. Now and then, fans who watched the film would speak up on Luo Chun and Gong Su's behalf, but would be insulted until no body parts were left intact by the defamers. A bunch of people who'd never even seen the film would madly spring forward and shred the list apart simply because of the name Gong Su. Yi Wanwan's lips twitched. Gong Su's ability to attract haters was as formidable as always. Yi Wanwan rubbed her forehead. Why are you so good at attracting haters? Gong Su had a boastful expression. Of course. No one in the entertainment industry can compare to this young master's ability to attract haters. Yi Wanwan said, I'm not complimenting you. Then Yi Wanwan's phone rang. It was Yi Mufan calling. Yi Wanwan walked some distance away before taking the call. Hello, brother? Yi Mufan asked. The final list came out. Did you see it? I saw it. Chapter 1144. 1144 Yi Mufan sighed on the other end of the phone. It's only been an hour, but our official website nearly crashed from the overload of insults. Our official Weibo account made a post telling them to watch the film before saying anything, but it was utterly useless. Yi Wanwan said, they have a fixed impression of Gong Su, and we're Gong Su's company, so it's pointless no matter what we say. Yi Mufan's tone was serious as he said, Wanwan, our current situation is pretty awful. We are basically being boycotted. I contacted many partners in the past few days, but not a single one is willing to work with us. That bastard, Yi Shaoan, must have secretly done something. Their grandfather promised Yi Mufan that he would recover his right of inheritance if he could show off some achievements. Hence, Yi and Yi Shaoan were besieging them from all sides this time. Combined with Worldwide Entertainment's occasional ploys, their current situation ended up being very perilous. If they couldn't overcome this barrier, their company might have to close. Yi Wanwan said, don't fret too much. Didn't Luo Chun and Gong Su get nominated? Now that things turned out like this, Yi Mufan couldn't help being a little irritable. He answered hotly, so what if they were nominated? Everything is useless if they don't win. We allocated all our funds to this film. If things continue like this without any profits, our company is done for. He made a flurry of phone calls in the past few days and asked for help everywhere, but no fruits were born. He contacted Ho Chongliang, the director for Date with a Superstar, and asked if he could put the deleted 10 minutes into the next episode, but was told that the footage had been erased already. Yi Wanwan asked, Brother Yi, do you believe in me? Of course. I do. Then don't give up until the very last second, all right? Yi Wanwan's voice flowed across his heart like a cool stream, pacifying Yi Mufan for some reason. Wanwan, sorry, I was too brash. We're still young. So what if we fail? The worst-case scenario is that we'll have to start again from the beginning. That's the right mindset. Yi Wanwan chuckled lightly. After conversing with Yi Wanwan, Yi Mufan finally calmed down. That's right. Grandfather wants us to come for dinner tomorrow night. All right, got it. If we return tomorrow morning, I'll make it. The next day, at the Yi family's old residence, as soon as Liang Meixian saw Yi Mufan, she said with a laugh, My, our eldest young master Yi is back. You look like you're in quite a good mood. I heard your film was nominated for the Golden Orchid Awards. Congratulations. Although Liang Meixian was congratulating them, her tone was bursting with ridicule. They might have gotten onto the finalist list, but who didn't know they were just there as participants for the race? Plus, the internet was slinging them with insults, and their box office performance was a tragic spectacle. Based on the current situation, Yi Mufan's first film was a crushing defeat. It truly suited his title as a worthless idiot. After being counseled by Yi Wanwan, Yi Mufan lost all of his previous irritability and said with a grin, "You're too polite, second aunt." Naturally, I'm in a good mood. No one has gotten double best actors in the history of the Golden Orchid Awards. Emperor Sky and Worldwide have been established for so many years but still haven't accomplished it. If my artists obtained double best actor, I'm afraid it would send a tornado through the entire entertainment industry and leave a mark in film history. The box office is absolutely minor compared to that. When Liang Meixian heard that, she snorted. What? Double best actor? The committee of judges just thinks the script you stole from Emperor Sky is decent. It's already generous of them to allow you to make it to the finals as consolation. You actually want to win double best actor? I think you've gone mad. You're truly too egotistical. Chapter 1145, they naturally started talking about films at the dinner table. Liang Meixian placated the two elders with a proud expression from start to finish. Every film Emperor Sky Entertainment invested in was a big hit. Also, Emperor Sky dominated a majority of the most probable and hottest winners of the Golden Orchids. Dad, Mom, don't be worried at all. Emperor Sky will become better and better in Yi and Shaoan's hands. When Yi Hongwei and Tanilon heard that, they looked very happy. Mom, stop praising me. I still have many things to learn from Grandpa. Yi said a few more humble sentences before turning to look at Yi Mufan. She asked amiably, Mufan, I heard the box office performance for your film wasn't too great? We're family, so let me know if you need any help. Liang Meixian sneered. Yi, don't bother. They don't care about the box office. Both of their male leads are finalists for the Golden Orchid Awards. As long as one of them wins, their earnings will grow exponentially. When Yi Hongwei heard that, he pensively said, I saw the finalists for this year's Golden Orchid Awards. The other films are from famous directors, so competition is fierce. I'm afraid the chances of winning aren't huge, but it's already great that you made it to the finals. Keep working hard. Although Yi Hongwei didn't say much and merely said a few words of encouragement, his disappointment was unavoidable. He was well aware that Yi Mufan's little company wouldn't survive for long if this film couldn't obtain a proper amount of profit. In comparison to Yi, these two other children were still too inferior. Yi Mufan nodded. Yes, Grandpa. I'll do my best. After eating dinner, Yi Mufan and Yi Wanwan left the old residence together. Suddenly, Yi Wanwan's phone started ringing. It was Jiang Yinran calling. Yi Wanwan picked up the call and promptly congratulated with a smile. Hey, Yinran, congratulations. Wanwan, why couldn't I reach you earlier? Jiang Yinran complained. Sorry. I was in the mountains these past 2 days, so the signal wasn't too great. I just flew back today and have been busy until now. Jiang Yinran didn't truly mind, so she asked excitedly, Wanwan, did you see yet? I made it to the finals. I'm a candidate for the Golden Orchid Awards Best Actress. Yes, I saw. You're awesome. I was going to call you when I got home. Yi Wanwan was thankfully cautious earlier, so no one knew Jiang Yinran belonged to her. Hence, Jiang Yinran's journey was very successful from shooting to promotion. The film's box office performance and reputation were also quite good, and the film was one of the hottest contenders for an award. I'm glad I didn't disappoint you. It's just that the competition is too intense. I'm not sure if I'll win. This is your first film, so it's already great that you made it to the finals. This is a very good starting point, Yi Wanwan said with encouragement. Jiang Yinran asked nervously, Wanwan, you'll come to the awards ceremony, right? Oh, right. Gong Su and Luochen also made it to the finals, so you'll definitely attend. I will. I'm going. Only then did Jiang Yinran relax. That's good. I won't feel scared with you there. This is my first time attending this kind of event, after all. Yi Wanwan chatted with Jiang Yinran for a while and told her some things to pay attention to before hanging up. After Yi Wanwan hung up the phone, She turned to look at the fretting Yi Mufan. Enough, enough. Don't look so awful. Yanran is also a nominee. 3 of our people made it to the finals. Based on the probability, our chances of winning an award are large. If our luck is good, perhaps we can even monopolize both Best Actress and Best Actor. Then you can lord it over Liang Meixian and the others. Chapter 1146. 1146 Monopolize both Best Actor and Best Actress? Yi Mufan burst out laughing. I really need to thank you for comforting me like that. That's not luck anymore. It's heaven-defying at that point, isn't it? Next week was the awards ceremony for the Golden Orchid Awards. Age of the Immortal's fate would be determined that day. A few days later, today was Si Yihan's regular checkup day, so Yi Wanwan left the remaining jobs to Yao Jiawen and accompanied Si Yihan to Dr. Sun's for a checkup. The checkup took more than 2 hours before it finally finished. When Yi Wanwan saw Si Yihan and Dr. Sun exiting the room, she immediately went up and asked, "How is he?" Si Yihan's eyes turned warm when he saw her anxious and concerned expression. He reached out to gently embrace her. "I'm fine." Yi Wanwan glanced at Sun Baichao. "Dr. Sun, is he really fine? He started burying himself in work again lately. He even stayed up late behind my back a few times." Si Yihan looked exasperated as he listened to Yi Wanwan's tattling. Sun Baichao looked at the couple with a big grin and said, "Don't worry, Miss Yi. Mr. C is recovering very nicely. Today's acupuncture was the final course in the treatment. As long as he is careful about his health from now on, there shouldn't be any major problems." Si Yihan said, "I already said I was fine. I know my limits." Only then did Yi Wanwan relax. "Dr. Sun, thank you. Thank you so much. Is there anything else we need to be aware of?" As Yi Wanwan spoke, Si Yihan's phone rang. Si Yihan glanced at the phone screen and concealed the strange look in his eyes before saying with a normal expression, "I need to take a call." "Oh, okay." Yi Wanwan nodded before continuing her conversation with Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sun told her a few things to be mindful of in detail, and Yi Wanwan wrote them down seriously. By the time they finished speaking, Si Yihan still hadn't returned. Does a phone call take that long? At that moment, a clang was heard. It sounded like something had broken in the courtyard. Suspicion flitted through Yi Wanwan's eyes, and she hurriedly went to the rear courtyard to look for Si Yihan. From a distance, Yi Wanwan saw Si Yihan talking on the phone while standing under the eaves of the building. She was about to walk over, but stopped when she got a clear look at Si Yihan. Si Yihan's current expression and aura were too terrifying. She had never seen him looking so frightening, even at the pinnacle of her fear of Si Yihan. Broken pieces from a shattered flower pot laid next to Si Yihan's feet. His entire body was enveloped by a terrifying, dark fog without a ray of light shining through. He was abnormally violent and gloomy. "I do remember. I also remember you saying we weren't related at all." Yi Wanwan thought the faint words she was hearing to be quite odd. "Who's Si Yihan on the phone with?" It doesn't sound like work-related matters. While Yi Wanwan deliberated over this, Si Yihan hung up. Only then did Yi Wanwan continue to walk over to Si Yihan. "Ajia, what happened? You don't look so good." Before Yi Wanwan could finish speaking, he suddenly pulled her into an embrace. Si Yihan's body was unusually icy. There was an intense and impregnable chilliness permeating through him, as though there was a giant black hole sucking all of his life and light. The strength of his hug nearly crushed her. Yi Wanwan frowned. She ignored the pain and reached out to pat Si Yihan's back in comfort. "What is it?" A moment later, Si Yihan's emotions seemed to have stabilized slightly, and he relaxed his hold on her a little bit. His voice was hoarse as he said, "Nothing. Just some clan matters." Chapter 1147. 1147. Although Si Yihan said that, Yi Wanwan instinctively felt like it wasn't that simple. Matters related to the clan shouldn't have provoked such a big reaction from Si Yihan, right? Even she wasn't capable of angering Si Yihan to this extent. Who was so impressive? You're attending the Golden Orchid Awards ceremony tomorrow night? Si Yihan asked. Yi Wanwan nodded. That's right. There's still a banquet after the ceremony ends, so I'll probably be home late. Sleep early with Tang Tang. Okay. Yi Wanwan sighed as she leaned against Si Yihan's shoulders. Ah, tomorrow's the ceremony. I'm so nervous. Why don't you give me some loving encouragement? Don't drink. Oh, how boring. The next day, Yi Mufan summoned everyone early in the morning and started styling them one by one. Yi Mufan rubbed his hands excitedly. Even if we don't win any awards tonight, we're going to blind their lousy eyes. Gong Su's hair was bursting with tiny clips as he nodded vehemently in agreement. That's right. We definitely have the highest aesthetic appeal out of all the companies there. We're the awesome and unrivaled heavenly group of breathtaking beauties. The corners of Yi Wanwan's lips twitched. What the hell was a heavenly group of breathtaking beauties? However, when she glanced at the average of their company's face score, she couldn't deny it. Especially after going through Yi Mufan's godlike craftsmanship and meticulous styling, their appearances were shining at their brightest. Yi Wanwan glanced at Han Xinyu, who had his makeup done already and was sitting on the sofa. As expected, he's so handsome that he shines. Upon noticing Yi Wanwan's gaze, Han Xinyu sent her an inquiring look. What is it? Yi Wanwan waved her hand. Nothing. Nothing. I was just nearly blinded by your handsomeness. Han Xinyu laughed out loud. You're also very handsome today. You're too polite. Yi Mufan, who was currently styling Gong Su, suddenly saw something and screamed, Shit! Gong Su, are you a pervert? Why the hell did you bring female clothes here for no reason? Gong Su instantly jumped up and nervously snatched the colorful bag from Yi Mufan's hands. Give it back. Give it back. Don't touch it. I'm gonna kill you if you damage it. Yi Wanwan glanced at Gong Su. Female clothes? What's up with this guy now? Gong Su aggrievedly hugged the bag as he looked at Yi Wanwan and sighed deeply. Ah, brother Yi, you were right before. If I knew today would come, why didn't I work harder back then? If I did, I wouldn't have watched helplessly as I passed by brother Yi in female clothes. I'm drowning in regret. Yi Wanwan was rendered speechless. When did I say that? He can't just make things up randomly, all right? Moreover, shouldn't his focus be trying to see little Candied Plum? Why's he so hung up on making me wear female clothes now? Just how mischievous is this punk? Gong Su blinked and relentlessly looked at Yi Wanwan. A big grin spread across his face, his little canines faintly visible. Brother Yi, won't you consider wearing this? It's really pretty. Really, really. Yi Wanwan took out the dress Gong Su brought to look at it. Her face instantly darkened. What the hell is this? Oh, dear God. It's actually a princess dress. There were at least several hundred sparkling little bows on it. What kind of magical taste is this? I'd rather die than wear this thing. She suddenly fearfully recalled how she dressed bizarrely back when she had a screw loose in her mind. Yi Wanwan tossed the dress back with a glowing expression. Keep it for yourself to wear. Chapter 1148. Yi Wanwan was sitting on the sofa with Han Xinyu while waiting for Gong Su and Luo Chan. Suddenly her phone rang. The caller ID indicated it was Su-yi. Why's Su-yi calling me at a time like this? Yi Wanwan suspiciously took out her phone and walked to the deserted hallway outside before taking the call. Hey, Steward Su? As soon Yi Wanwan accepted the call, Su-yi's extremely panicked voice came from the other end. Miss Wanwan, you had a fight with Ninth Master? Yi Wanwan was utterly confused. Huh? Fight? We didn't. We're perfectly fine. Su-yi anxiously said. Impossible. Why's Ninth Master suddenly so violent then? Yi Wanwan was at a loss for words. Hey, just 'cause he's aggravated doesn't mean it's my fault, okay? Don't blame me for everything. Su-yi sounded like he was on the brink of tears. A clamor could be heard on the other end of the phone. Miss Wanwan. Anyways, you should come to the office and take a look. Please. There's really something wrong with Ninth Master's emotions today. Yi Wanwan's face looked serious when she heard that. Sui typically wouldn't call her out of the blue unless the situation was seriously urgent. All right, I understand. I'll be there soon. After Yuanwan hung up, she returned to the dressing room and whispered next to Yi Mufan's ear. I'm taking off for a bit. I'll be back soon. Where are you going? Yi Mufan asked casually. My boyfriend's not feeling well. I'm going to check on him. Yi Mufan exploded as soon as he heard her answer. Shit. Today's such an important day. What's more important, your boyfriend or the award ceremony? Of course it's my boyfriend. Yi Wanwan comforted him. Brother, I'll come back soon. We still have plenty of time. Go on, go on. Yi Mufan mumbled unhappily. The C Corporation. Sui was already waiting at the front desk. As soon as he saw Yi Wanwan, he personally led her up the elevator designated for the chairman to the top floor. What in the world is going on? Yi Wanwan asked anxiously. Sui answered with an anguished expression. Miss Wanwan, how could I possibly know Ninth Master's thoughts? I should ask you instead. Yi Wanwan, the problem is that it really isn't my fault this time. He was perfectly fine when I left the house this morning. Although Yi Wanwan hadn't seen Si Yihan yet, she could tell that Su Yi's words weren't an exaggeration based on the low atmosphere of the office they passed by and the employees' pale and fearful expressions. The duo finally arrived in front of the chairman's office. Sui cautiously knocked before opening the door and entering. As soon as Yi Wanwan entered, she noticed that the office looked like a tornado had swept through it and was in an utterly disordered state. Behind the large desk, Si Yihan was wearing a black dress shirt and was casually leaning against a leather chair. He was propping his forehead up with his hand. There was a hopeless feeling of death and an aura of violent havoc that could destroy everything enveloping him from head to toe. Even Yi Wanwan felt a bit afraid, not to mention Sui. Due to an instinctual fear of danger, she subconsciously wanted to flee. Sui stood by the door, not daring to breathe too loudly. Yi Wanwan hesitated for just a brief second before she walked toward him. Agio, after approaching him, Yi Wanwan realized that Si Yihan's face looked really awful, as though it was drained of all color. She merely hadn't seen him for a few hours. How did he end up like this? Chapter 1149. 1149. When Si Yihan heard her voice, his spine seemingly stiffened. Then he slowly looked up at Yi Wanwan. Come here. Si Yihan's eyes were like an icy pool of bottomless water as he stared at her unblinkingly. Yi Wanwan docilely walked behind the desk and touched Si Yihan's forehead with tightly furrowed brows. His temperature felt pretty normal. When Yi Wanwan appeared in his line of sight, Si Yihan acted like an irritated wild beast who finally saw its master and instantly retracted his ruthless and encroaching aura. Agio, do you feel unwell? Yi Wanwan asked. Si Yihan allowed her little hand to remain on his forehead, and he wordlessly extended his arms, embracing her waist. After a period of silence, he said, I did at first. Yi Wanwan was startled. Huh, did at first? Does he mean he doesn't anymore after I showed up? Si Yihan's labyrinth-style sweet-talking was online again. When Sui saw this from his hiding spot next to the door, he was rendered speechless, but he also breathed a sigh of relief. He knew it. No matter what happened, it could definitely be resolved by a visit from Miss Wanwan. Yi Wanwan allowed Si Yihan to hug her, and she softly said, Are you too tired from being so busy the past 2 days? Do you need to sleep? I'll keep you company. Si Yihan looked extremely fatigued, but he motionlessly kept her in his arms. Don't you have to attend the award ceremony? Yi Wanwan blurted, The ceremony is nowhere near as important as you. Si Yihan was evidently pacified by her words, and his gloomy expression eased up a lot. Go on. I'm fine, just a little tired. After Si Yihan said that, he sent Sui a warning look. When Yi Wanwan saw that, she immediately piped up, Don't glare at Sui. It was me who told Sui to report to me if anything happened, so you aren't allowed to blame him or punish him. Okay. Sui was spooked out of his mind from the glare, but he felt tears streaking down his face after hearing Yi Wanwan's words. The feeling of having the boss lady backing him up was great. He felt very safe. Seeing that the danger was temporarily gone, Sui quickly retreated quietly. Yi Wanwan was brimming with worry as she looked at the man in front of her. Why see Yi Hen's expression so unsteady? It's not like men have periods. However, he was situated in such a high position. Such a large clan and company relied on his sole support. He had no choice but to digest all of his emotions by himself, and the immense pressure was unavoidable. Are you really fine? Yi Wanwan worriedly asked. The only one who could make me not fine is you. What a pleasure. Then Yi Wanwan burrowed towards Si Yihan and sat on his lap. She slid her arms around his waist and said, Here, a hug for you. Recharge a little. Si Yihan chuckled lowly and tightened his arms around her. A moment later, he said, Go back. I'm fine. Chapter 1150. 1150. After leaving the C Corporation building, Yi Wanwan drove straight to the location of the Golden Orchid Awards ceremony and met up with Yi Mufan and the others. The Golden Orchid Awards was an annual grand occasion in the entertainment industry, so everyone would be focused on it tonight without a doubt. Since the announcement of the nomination list, bustling discussions and guesses about the winners of this year's Best Actor and Best Actress pervaded the internet. Many people even made bets about the winners privately. Emperor Sky Entertainment's Pei Hong had the most people betting on him. Pei Hong won Best Actor 2 times already and had always been a capable actor. The fact that Emperor Sky invited him to their film illustrated their determination to win. The second most popular candidate was Worldwide Entertainment's Jing Wanqing. He had a golden production crew and a large, 200 million yuan production behind him. Public opinion was polarized, but its box office performance was very strong. Wisdom Media's Han Yi was a dark horse who popped up this year. There were favorable opinions of him as well. As for a life and death struggles Luo Chen and Gong Su, everyone from the crew to the director to the screenwriter was obscure in the industry. The only outstanding actor was Han Xinyu, who only played a supporting role. Both Luo Chen and Gong Su were viewed as best companions. In the car, Gong Su was looking through Weibo the entire way there. When he read through the online comments, his brilliant face looked extremely arrogant. TCH, companion? Wherever this young master goes, other people will be diminished into props. Luo Chen glanced at Gong Su, rendered speechless. He had no idea whether this guy was too mentally strong or simple-minded. It was like he never felt defeat. When Gong Su saw that Luo Chen was silent, he glanced at Luo Chen. Hey! The inattentive Luo Chen glanced at Gong Su, non-verbally asking, What? Gong Su wrapped his arm around Luo Chen's shoulders and quietly asked, Are you feeling nervous? Luo Chen was stunned, and his expression was a little stiff. I'm not. Gong Su pursed his lips, disbelief apparent on his face. TCH, don't bother lying to me. I've at least had a love-hate relationship with you for so long, so I know what you're thinking with a single glance. I have to say, what's there for you to be nervous about? Look at me. I'm insulted to this extent, but I'm still not nervous. Yi Mufan, who was currently driving, rolled his eyes at Gong Su through the rearview mirror. What? Are you feeling proud instead of shameful? I'm telling the truth. If you want to stay in this industry, you have to be like me and view everything like fleeting clouds. If you accept every type of trash and take every comment seriously, wouldn't you get tired to death? This fool overthinks too much. I'm tired for him, Gong Su mumbled. Warmth flitted through Luo Chen's face. He knew Gong Su was intentionally saying that to comfort him. The company was encountering a crisis right now. The award ceremony was too important this year, so the pressure on him lately had been too great. Gong Su was right. He was feeling nervous. He had never been this nervous. He had suffered from insomnia for several nights in a row already. As soon as he thought about how he might fail to live up to Brother Ye's expectations and how the company might close down, he felt like he couldn't breathe. His personality was the exact opposite of Gong Su's. Gongsu was egocentric and didn't care about other people's opinions, but Luo Chun was different. As soon as something happened, his first thought was to think about what he didn't do well. A single piece of criticism on the internet could make him feel awful for a long time. What was most unbearable to him was fear. He feared that his incapability would drag other people down. Luo Chun opened Weibo on his phone and saw that all the comments under his posts were insults toward Gongsu. Many comments were about how Gongsu dragged him down, and he would have had a huge chance of winning Best Actor with his acting skills otherwise. Luo Chun stared at those comments for a long time before opening the page to make a new post. He slowly typed a line into it before posting it. Chapter 1151. At that moment, a notification rang from Yi Mufan's phone in front. Yi Mufan nearly jumped. Gongsu, what the heck did you post this time? Didn't I say you weren't allowed to make a Weibo post before the awards ceremony ended? Gongsu revealed an innocent expression. Shit, I didn't post anything. You didn't post anything? Then why did my phone? Yi Mufan opened his phone and was astonished. It really wasn't Gongsu who posted something. Yi Mufan subconsciously glanced at Luo Chun in the back seat, his surprise evident. Sorry, it was me who posted, Luo Chun said. Yi Mufan coughed lightly. Yeah, I saw it. Forget it then since you posted it already. Gongsu erupted the second he heard that. Damn it. What kind of differential treatment is this? Why is it fine if he posts on Weibo, but not me? I object to this. Yi Mufan said. Object my ass. Do you even know what he posted? I'm gonna see what this punk posted, Gongsu said as he opened up Weibo on his phone. Gongsu angrily pulled up Luo Chun's most recent post. When he saw what Luo Chun posted, he was shocked and looked a little mystified. Luo Chun's Weibo post was very brief and only had 4 words. He's the best partner. At Gongsu, shortly after Luo Chun posted that, there was an explosion of comments underneath the post. Damn. Was Luo Chun's account hacked? Gongsu must have hacked Luo Chun's phone to post this, right? Staunchly supporting Gongsu at a time like this, it's simply true love. Damn. Gongsu stared at the Weibo post foolishly. He evidently didn't think that Luo Chun, who had always been on bad terms with him and disliked him, would stand up for him at a time like this. Gongsu stared at that Weibo post for a long time with a tumultuous expression. After a while, he turned to Luo Chun seriously and said, Luo Chun, tell me honestly, have you fallen in love with me? Have you been captured by my charming personality? I'd advise you to give up now. If I wanted to be gay, I'd only accept my brother Yi. Luo Chun's slightly moved emotions were instantly dissipated by this fool. You're overthinking it. Yi Mufan interjected. Punk, if you talk nonsense again, I'm gonna kill you. Felix, do you want to fight? Why would you kill me? I'm being gay with brother Yi, not you. Why are you always opposing me? Gongsu, who was currently challenging Yi Mufan, had no idea that he was challenging the real elder brother-in-law. The group boisterously got out of the car, and Yi Wanwan happened to walk toward them. What are you all up to this time? Gongsu immediately fluttered toward Yi Wanwan like a butterfly and complained, Brother Yi, I just said I wanted to be gay with you. But Felix said he was going to kill me. What does it have to do with him? Yi Wanwan. The results were about to be announced, so everyone was predicting the list of winners. In contrast, this guy was talking about being gay. Fine, being mentally strong was also an advantage. Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at Gongsu before she looked at Luo Chun. Luo Chun, come here. Luo Chun walked toward Yi Wanwan at once. Brother Yi. Yi Wanwan glanced at Luo Chun with a deep frown. His face was so haggard that even his makeup could barely cover it up. Thankfully, his outfit and hairstyle helped a lot. So when the lights were on him, people wouldn't see his haggardness from far away. This child ruminated too much. Yi Wanwan said, we tried our best, and it's up to the heavens now. As long as you did your best, there's nothing to be disappointed about. Don't worry about the discussions on the internet. Pure strength is the best method to make people shut up. I believe in you. Luo Chun's pupils contracted, and his eyes reddened mildly. Yes, I understand, Brother Yi. This year, Emperor Sky Entertainment was nominated for more than half of the awards. They had artists nominated for most major awards like Best Director, Best Film, Best Actor, and Best Actress, so they could be considered the biggest winner this time. With every big name, popular potential award winner that passed by, fervent shouting swept through the area. The climax was when Yi Yi and the current hottest star under Emperor Sky, Ling Xiaojia, walked by. Although Ling Xiaojia himself wasn't nominated, the film he was in was nominated for 7 to 8 major awards and had the best box office performance this year, so his popularity couldn't be contained. The entertainment industry was like this. Perhaps you weren't the most capable, but you had a grand tree behind you, so you could soar to the sky with its help. Miss E, everyone knows Emperor Sky Entertainment is booming with success this year and was nominated for countless awards. No wonder you're the leader of our entertainment industry. On stage, the hosts lavished Emperor Sky Entertainment with all sorts of praises and took up a large amount of time. Then a staff member hurriedly walked to Yi Mufan and said, "There's not enough time. Everyone from your group will go up together later." Chapter 1153. 1153. Yi Mufan frowned. What? Why wasn't this kind of problem addressed from the start? Most people walked on the red carpet individually or in pairs in order to obtain the longest exposure time. Now, they wanted his group to go up in a pack due to a lack of time? Yi Mufan repressed his anger in his conversation with the staff member. Moreover, this isn't in accordance with the rules. The staff member impatiently said, "Plans can't keep up with change. The audience won't pay much attention to the people near the end anyway, so it's insignificant. There are only 2 minutes left for your group, so you can only have them walk it in 2 sections at the most. If you're unwilling to do it, you don't have to. There are many people waiting behind you, so please don't delay the schedule." After the staff member said that, he left in a hurry. Yi Mufan was nearly angered to death. It was clearly the artists from Emperor Sky Entertainment who took up too much time in the beginning that created a time crunch for them. Yet, the staff said it was them who were delaying the schedule. When Yuan Wan saw Yi Mufan returning infuriated, she glanced at him. Not enough time? Yi Mufan's expression stiffened. You knew already? Yuan Wan glanced at Yi Yi and Ling Xiaojia, who were taking their time talking to the hosts on stage. Emperor Sky Entertainment was taking up so much time, so the organizers had to squeeze out time from the people behind Emperor Sky to compensate for it. The organizers didn't dare to offend a large company, nor would they reduce the time for popular nominees, so they were the only option. The weak were prey for the strong. The entertainment industry had always been like this. Yi Wanwan said decisively, "We'll walk in 2 groups. Lu Qing and Zishan walk first. The rest of us will walk second." Gong Su, Luo Chun, and Han Xinyu all nodded to show their agreement. After Emperor Sky Entertainment's artists finished walking, all that was left were small companies and unpopular artists. The dark throngs of photographers on each side were too lazy to even press their camera shutters. Lu Qing and Lin Zishan soon passed through the red carpet and entered the venue after signing their names. The hosts completely overlooked their interviews. There weren't any important big names near the end, so the male and female host chatted on the side and disinterestedly waited for everyone else to finish walking. Then the crowd on both sides suddenly exclaimed in shock like a rolling wave. The 2 hosts subconsciously looked up and were stunned. That's Han Xinyu, as well as Gong Su and Luo Chun. The other 2 people were a bit unfamiliar, but their appearances weren't inferior to the other 3 at all. From the other end of the red carpet, the 5 men, each with their own distinctive aura, slowly walked toward the stage like they were taking a stroll in their garden. Any one of the 5 had a face score off the charts, not to mention the visual impact of these 5 people appearing together. They were so radiant that people couldn't look directly at them. The photographers on the side couldn't help but erupt into chatter. Damn! If we're talking about good looks, there really aren't artists from other companies tonight who could compare to this group. Nothing needs to be said about Han Xinyu and Gong Su, but Luo Chun also underwent a large transformation this year. He was a bit green before, so why is his aura suddenly so strong? I feel like the one with the strongest aura is the person in the center, right? He's simply devilishly gorgeous. I think he's Luo Chun and Gong Su's manager. Damn, even a manager's face score is this high? That's not all. The other person is their company's boss. His face score is also off the charts. However, tonight is the awards ceremony for the Golden Orchid Awards, so what's the use in being so handsome? There's tons of fresh meat in the entertainment industry, but how many are truly capable? That's true, but this company's face score is truly too high. Chapter 1154. The photographers all subconsciously pressed down on their shutters, secretly lamenting that it was a pity. They could tell with their sharp instincts that this group of photos would definitely be extremely popular if they were released. Unfortunately, they wouldn't waste ink and page space on insignificant people. Everyone in the industry was perceptive. They all knew that it was uncertain whether Yi Mufan's company would remain open after the Golden Orchid Awards. The hosts were evidently given notice by Yi Shaoan, so the hosts wouldn't give them a spot in the limelight. The female host suppressed her urge to speak and helplessly watched the 5 superior-grade handsome men heading backstage one by one. Each one that passed by took a strand of her soul. By the time the 5 people all entered, the female host looked dispirited as though she had lost her soul. Even the male host perked up his head to look inside and quietly said, "Shit. My poor eyes were nearly blinded by them." Yi Wanwan and her group quickly finished walking the red carpet. After they entered, Yi Mufan's phone suddenly rang. Upon seeing the caller ID, Yi Mufan's expression shifted. "You guys enter first. I need to take a call." After taking the call, Yi Mufan stood in place and smoked for a long time, his expression gloomier than ever before. Earlier, he managed to obtain an assignment with great difficulty. It was Imperial City Satellite TV's newest outdoor reality show. Because it was a new show testing the waters, it was easier to join. After negotiating with the producers in all sorts of manners and repressing Luo Chun and Gong Su's terms and compensation again and again, he finally managed to make a deal with them. However, just now, the person in charge of the show called and unexpectedly changed his mind. He said something about how Luo Chun and Gong Su didn't fit their show style, so they had to change the guest last minute. Yi Mufan quietly cursed before calling Yao Jiawen. "Jiawen, help me look into who Hot-Blooded Adventure ended up signing as guests." It didn't take long for Yao Jiawen to call back. "Chairman Yi, they just signed on Zhao Chengza, Ming Lili, Cui Mingqian, Xing Hua, as well as Ling Xiaozhe." Ling Xiaozhe? It was unsurprisingly Emperor Sky Entertainment again. It appeared that Yi Shaoan was planning to cut off all their possible escape routes. Other than Ling Xiaozhe, one other person who took their spot was the newly signed artist under Dazzling Media's Kai Yongsheng. He was the actor nominated for Best Novice at the Golden Orchid Awards this year, Cui Mingqian. Everyone in the industry was perceptive. They all knew it was unknown whether Yi Mufan's company would remain open after the Golden Orchid Awards. After Yi Mufan calmed down, he returned to his seat. The only thing he could do was wait for the results. His group was sitting in their seats with unusually solemn expressions on their faces. Even Gong Su was withered like a frosted eggplant. "Luo Chun, Qinchin, Xiao Qinchin. I feel awful." Luo Chun was sitting next to Gong Su. He originally wasn't going to pay attention to Gong Su, but when he saw that Gong Su's complexion really didn't look too great, he asked, "What's wrong? Do you feel unwell?" Gong Su leaned against Luo Chen's shoulder and listlessly nodded. "Yes, I'll help you tell Brother Yi." Yes. Help me tell Brother Yi. Tell him to wear a dress for me. I guarantee it'll cure all illnesses." Luo Chun mercilessly pushed Gong Su away. This guy couldn't be serious for a single second. However, after this intermission from Gong Su, Luo Chun felt his anxiety easing up a little. The awards ceremony hadn't commenced yet, so everyone was chatting or looking at their phones. Yi Wanwan was about to tell Gong Su and Luo Chun a few things to keep in mind when her phone started vibrating. Chapter 1155. 1155. It was Jiang Yinran calling. When Yi Wanwan saw the caller ID, her eyes turned warmer. She glanced in the direction Jiang Yinran was sitting before picking up the call. Hello? As soon as Gong Su heard this hello, his ears perked up. There's something fishy. How strange. Why is Brother Ye's hello so gentle? Luo Chun didn't want to talk to him. It was just a normal hello. What was strange about it? Jiang Yinran was currently carefully turning her head to look behind her. When she heard Yi Bai's voice, her tone became excited. Wanwan, Wanwan, are you here yet? Why can't I see you? Yi Wanwan answered, I'm here. I'm a few rows behind you, but I can see you. Really? That's great. Jiang Yinran instantly relaxed. Yes, I'm here. Don't be nervous. In. Yi Wanwan said a few more words before hanging up. After an unintentional turn of her head, she saw that Gong Su's face was almost plastered to her phone. Yi Wanwan's expression darkened. Gong Su looked at her expectantly. Brother Yi, who were you on the phone with? Why were you talking so gently? No one, just a friend. A friend. Weird. Was there something wrong with his sixth sense? Why did he feel like Brother Yi had a lover outside? Ladies and gentlemen, dear esteemed guests, greetings. Welcome to tonight's Golden Orchid Awards. As a rousing music played in the background, the host on the stage announced that the awards ceremony of the Golden Orchid Awards was officially commencing. Everyone's gaze instantly shot toward the stage. After the opening remarks and performance finished, the long-awaited grandiose occasion of the entertainment industry finally pulled up its curtains. The ceremony started with minor categories like Best Visual Effects, Best Production Design, and Best Motion Design to liven up the venue. 15 minutes later, the first popular category was brought up, Golden Orchid Awards Best Novice Award. On stage, the award presenter's personality was a bit energetic. After keeping the audience guessing for half a day, they finally announced the winner of the award. The winner of the Golden Orchid Awards Best Novice Award goes to the brightest new star of dazzling media this year, Cui Mingqian. Congratulations! Thunderous applause accompanied the presenter's announcement of the winner's name. The audience all gave their congratulations. Cui Mingqian cried on the spot and hugged his manager, Kai Yongsheng, along with the cast and crew members near him. He was immensely emotional. In the frontmost seats designated for the higher-ups of the industry, Chu Hongguang nodded with obvious satisfaction. He was the one who piled all the resources and helped Kai Yongsheng build up Cui Mingqian at a deficit cost. After Yi Bai left, all sorts of rumors arose. People said Chu Hongguang sent his own relative to shove Yi Bai away, leading to a decline at dazzling media. How could he allow his pride to be trampled by everyone? Hence, even if he knew Kai Yongsheng was good for nothing, he had to elevate Kai Yongsheng. Reality proved him right. Surviving in this industry required not only talent and capability. After Yi Bai left worldwide, Yi Bai returned to nothing. His fate after conning away Luo Chun and Gong Su was the best warning to the other celebrities under worldwide. As Kai Yongsheng watched his artist returning to his seat after accepting the trophy, he was high-spirited. He nonchalantly glanced in the direction of Yi Wanwan and her group. Chapter 1156. 1156. Meanwhile, the production crew acted like they wanted the whole world to be in chaos and purposefully had the cameraman turn the camera to Yi Wanwan, as though they wanted to capture Yi Bai's loss of composure. Unfortunately, the languid and serene expression on Yi Wanwan's face never changed, and she calmly glanced at the camera lens focused on her, showing a light smile. When that smile was displayed on the giant screen in the venue, everyone's gasps could be heard. So handsome. A female artist muttered quietly. That's Yi Bai? Being a manager is truly a pity with a face like his. Kai Yongsheng looked at how Yi Bai pretended to be uncaring on the screen and inwardly sneered. Already at his grave, and still acting pretentious. Punk, when you have no way out, you'll still have to obediently crawl back and beg me on your knees to save you. The awards ceremony continued. The following major awards to be presented were Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. Both of these popular major awards ended up in the hands of Worldwide Entertainment. Then, Worldwide Entertainment also obtained Best Cinematography and Best Original Score. Worldwide gained great momentum in the beginning, so Chu Hongguang's grin nearly covered his entire face. He was obviously very satisfied. As for Emperor Sky Entertainment, Yi remained unperturbed and looked unshakably confident. After all, the real major awards hadn't been awarded yet. On stage, the host was announcing the winner of the Best Adapted Screenplay. The winner of the Best Adapted Screenplay is Rong Junwei. Applause roared through the venue, and everyone congratulated Rong Junwei and his cast and crew. The image on the big screen also cut to Yi and Ling Xiaojia. Rong Junwei was a renowned producer. The work that made his name back then, that summer, was popular throughout China. This time, Yi only managed to invite him out of semi-retirement through Gu Yue's connections. With such a strong producer and crew, it was unavoidable for Ling Xiaojia to become popular. How ironic was it that Emperor Sky, who had a dispute with a screenwriter due to screenplay problems not too long ago, managed to win Best Adapted Screenplay. It was evident that Emperor Sky Entertainment wanted to sanitize their names through the Golden Orchid Awards, and they had indeed succeeded. Upon seeing that summer winning an award, Lu Qing and his companions' moods turned solemn. Gong Su couldn't help but roast them. Just a screenplay award? What's so great about it? Ling Xiaojia didn't even get a nomination. However, Yuanwan understood full well that Ling Xiaojia didn't need to win any award himself. He merely needed to ride on the tailwinds of that summer. The winner of this year's Golden Orchid Award for Best Director is the director of Luoxin's Legend, Ren Ziyan. Director Ren, congratulations. Soon, another film from Emperor Sky Entertainment, Luoxin's Legend, defeated its opponents and obtained Best Director Award. Luoxin's Legend was the film Emperor Sky Entertainment had used to shoot for the major awards this year. It was nominated for many awards, including Best Film and Best Director. The actor for the male lead, Pei Hong, was also nominated for Best Actor. A dance and song performance started on the stage. After a short break, the ceremony continued. Yi Mufan's complexion looked awful by this point. The next award is Best Film. On stage, the guest presenter announced, the winner of Best Film is Luoxin's Legend. It was Luoxin again. When Yi Mufan heard the film's name, his heart sunk to the bottom of the valley. Best Novice, Best Director, Best Film, Best Actor, and Best Actress. These 5 awards were the most important awards. Now, Worldwide Entertainment obtained a Best Novice while Emperor Sky Entertainment obtained 2 major awards already, Best Director and Best Film. Chapter 1157. Through that summer in Luoxin's Legend, Emperor Sky Entertainment managed to dominate both the box office and general popularity this year, reaping a bountiful harvest. All that's left is Best Actor and Best Actress now, Yi Mufan mumbled solemnly. Upon seeing that the next award to be announced was Best Actor, even Gong Su curbed his indifferent expression and looked at the big screen. Excitement ran through the people sitting below the stage. The people who were getting drowsy from the long and tedious process all became wide awake and looked at the stage while whispering with their neighbors. The following award we're announcing is the award everyone has their eyes on, Best Actor. Who will be the winner of this year's Best Actor? Everyone, please look at the screen. The nominations for this year include Luoxin's Legend. The host started introducing the 5 films that were nominated this year. When the host reached the final film, A Life and Death Struggle, everyone subconsciously turned to curiously look at Luoxin and Gong Su. Tut, there's gonna be a good show to watch, right? Gong Su publicly announced he would livestream himself eating shit if he doesn't win Best Actor, and even drag Luoxin into it. Truly fearless, I say. Look at who it is. Is there anything Gong Su doesn't dare to say? However, the fact that Gong Su managed to get nominated is quite astonishing. The organizers also need popularity and attention, so they're just making a double Best Actor headline. It's not like it's the first time they've done this. Plus, Red Lotus just happened to be banned. Otherwise, how could it be their turn to be nominated? Look at the other films. Any of them could pulverize them. These 2 people are simply here to fill the seats. The snippet of film they showed was the tragically heroic scene of Xue Xiaoyang breathing his last breath in Luo Chen's arms. The remnant sun was akin to blood, and streaks of tears flowed down the youth's bloody and grimy face, instantly eliciting heavy, aching grief in the audience. Luo Chen motionlessly stared at the scene on the big screen, sweat soaking his palms. Gong Su grumbled with a complaint. How could they use my death scene? So unlucky. After Gong Su said that, he glanced hopefully at Yi Wanwan. Brother Yi. Yi Wanwan didn't even glance at him as she said, You want me to wear it? Sure. Win Best Actor. Gong Su. So utterly heartless. The competition for Best Actor this year is very intense. There's the dark horse who fiercely trampled into the finals, Han Yi, the male lead of Assassin, the big production that exhausted 200 million yuan, Jing Wanqing. The talented actor who's been nominated 3 times in a row, Ji Wenjing. The talented Heavenly King who won Best Actor twice already and is fully deserving of his title, Pei Hong. And also the 2 male leads of a life and death struggle who were both nominated, Luo Chen and Gong Su. The hosts spoke passionately and tried their best to intensify the atmosphere. Yi Wanwan glanced at Luo Chen worriedly. Luo Chen expressed he was fine before taking a deep breath and closing his eyes. Gong Su saw Yi Wanwan exchanging a look with Luo Chen and pitifully mumbled, Brother Yi, I'm also nervous. Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at him and originally intended to ignore him when she suddenly caught something in her periphery that startled her. Gong Su had always stood and sat formlessly wherever he went, was currently stiffly sitting in his seat. Yi Wanwan extended her arm and lightly clapped Gong Su's shoulders. Chapter 1158. Yi Wanwan accidentally touched Gong Su's neck and surprisingly realized that it was soaking with sweat. This guy, he really is nervous. Gong Su felt a gentle hand covering his shoulder and patting it extremely gently. He felt like he was a little puppy without a leash whose owner finally leashed him and led him home. I feel really safe. When Yi Bai's soft fingers flitted across his soaked neck, he also felt his heart fiercely skipping a few beats for some reason, and he even forgot his nervousness. Before the winner of Best Actor was announced, the camera jumped between the nominees and also gave a few shots to the cast and crew and the higher-ups of the actors' company. The camera landed on Pei Hong and Yi the most, as though it was hinting at something. All right, enough talking. We'll now invite our guest presenter, Director Sun Dongyu, to reveal the winner of tonight's Best Actor Award. Welcome, Director Sun. It was finally time to announce the winner. The guest presenter, Sun Dongyu, accepted the envelope from the host and said, Good evening. I'm very honored to have been invited here to present this award. In the audience, everyone's hearts jumped to their throats. On the screen, although the nominees looked like they were trying their best to stay calm, their expressions clearly revealed their nervousness. I think it's Ji Wenjing. Worldwide's Ji Wenjing is absolutely a talented actor. He's already been nominated 3 times, so it must be his turn this time, right? That dark horse, Han Yi's, momentum is also quite fierce. Enough guessing, there's no suspense about it. It must be Pei Hong. He was already half retired at first. Emperor Sky Entertainment spent hundreds of millions to pull Pei Hong out of retirement just for this award. They're determined to win. Pei Hong does have the biggest chances. Luotian's Legend already won Best Director and Best Film. These 2 awards are the markers for Best Actor and Best Actress. After all, Pei Hong was nearly a shoo-in for winning Best Actor at this point. Below the stage, the producer sitting next to Yi confidently said, Missy, don't worry. Luotian's Legend won both Best Director and Best Film, so it's a sure bet that it'll get Best Actor. I've already prepared the celebration banquet. Under everyone's admiring and reverent gazes, Yi maintained her serene expression and lightly nodded. Thank you for your hard work, Producer Xue. On the stage, Sun Dongyu and the host echoed each other and kept the audience guessing for half a day before finally opening the envelope. The chattering and whispering in the audience completely disappeared. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone's eyes were locked onto Sun Dongyu. Sun Dongyu began. For this year's Golden Orchid Awards, Yi Wanwan maintained her composure while Yi Mufan's fists were tightly clenched and his eyes were unblinking. Luo Chun took a deep breath and closed his eyes. Sun Dongyu continued, "Best actor goes to Luo." When Sun Dongyu uttered Luo, everyone's eyes turned to look at Pei Hong with unsurprised expressions. Ah, it was Luotian's legend as expected. Yi Yi's expression also relaxed while producer Shui prepared to embrace Pei Hong with a wide grin. However, at that moment, Sun Dongyu's voice exploded in everyone's ears. Luo Chun. When everyone heard this name, the venue went abnormally silent for a second. What? What did Sun Dongyu just say? Chapter 1159, It Wasn't Luotian's Legend? How did it turn into Luo Chun? Producer Shue's expression froze on his face, and his extended arms awkwardly hung in midair. Yi nearly jumped up. The venue was in an uproar. What's going on? Did we mishear? It wasn't only the audience. Luo Chin himself was foolishly sitting there, unable to process what he just heard. Meanwhile, Kai Yongsheng and Chu Hongguang both had a deep frown as they looked at the stage. They didn't believe Yi Bai managed to make a comeback. As though the female host realized the easy misunderstanding that this name could cause, she kindly repeated, "The winner of this year's Golden Orchid Award for Best Actor is the actor who played Shinyu in a life and death struggle, Luo Chun. Congratulations, Luo Chun." The female host's words were akin to a drop of cold water splattering into a pot of oil. Yi Mufan emotionally shot up and pulled Luo Chun over to embrace him tightly. "Stop spacing out. Luo Chun, it's you. You're the winner." The only calm person in the venue was probably Yi Wanwan. Yi Wanwan stood up and opened her arms as she looked at the stupefied Luo Chun. "Luo Chun, congratulations." Luo Chun dazedly stared at Yi Wanwan, his figure lightly trembling and his eyes reddening. He excitedly embraced her. "Brother Yi, I succeeded. I succeeded. I didn't disappoint you." The large rock that dangled above his heart finally settled. Luo Chun felt like he had received a new life. Gong Su was also dumbfounded for a long time before he finally reacted. His heart felt itchy, and he stared at Luo Chun like he was staring at his wife's lover. "Damn, I guarded myself against everyone, but it turns out an internal thief stole it. You punk." It was clearly a complaint, but his voice was brimming with joy. Luo Chun looked at Gong Su, unease flitting through his eyes. They were both nominated. They both worked hard, and Gong Su truly didn't expend any less effort than Luo Chun this time. But only Luo Chun won the award. Perhaps other people weren't aware and only saw Gong Su's careless side. But Luo Chun witnessed firsthand how hard Gong Su worked during the special training. Gong Su even made him hide it from Brother Yi. Everyone present was surprised and had their own opinions about the surprise win. While Kai Yongsheng gritted his teeth angrily, while Jiang Yinran was secretly clapping for them with immense joy. As for Yi Yi, Pei Hong, producer Shui, and the rest of their group, they nearly couldn't maintain their composure as they watched this unexpected outcome. Only Pei Hong managed to maintain a congratulatory expression due to his years of experience. "Darn it, how's this possible? Luo Chun, how could it be that green punk?" Yi Yi and her group weren't the only ones who reacted this way. No one else expected this year's Best Actor would go to the most unfavored nominee. Yi Yi's mind swiftly spun, and she made herself calm down. They merely won a Best Actor. With Emperor Sky's strength, it could keep suppressing them without a problem. Just a bit more effort was needed. The host said, "Please welcome Luo Chun to come up and accept his award." At this time, the guest presenter on the stage, Sun Dongyu, suddenly interrupted the host. "My apologies for the interruption. I didn't finish speaking. The winner for Best Actor. There's one more." "What? There's one more?" Everyone had yet to recover from their earlier shock and were stunned again by this sentence. Sun Dongyu continued with a faint smile. "That's right, the other winner is Gong Su." If Sun Dongyu had splattered water into a pot of oil when he said the name Luo Chun, then he essentially shocked a pool of water with lightning just now. Shit? What's this outcome? It's actually a double best actor? Gong-soo had just stood up to embrace Luo-chun when he abruptly heard his name. He was stunned on the spot. 3 seconds later, he blinked with a perplexed expression. Brother Yi, I think I've gone crazy from wishing to see you in a dress. I'm even having delusions, idiot. Luo-chun finally couldn't hold back his tears anymore. Tears poured down his face as he hugged Gong-soo tightly. It's not a delusion. It's real. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.